So we are live now.
Hello, everyone. Today is a great day. We wanted to announce our product and introduce it for the first time, which all of you will use to make billions in the near future. On this auspicious day of Eid Miladun Nabi. Congratulations, everyone, on the holiday. And as well as on this day, we are going to introduce you to our product. Junaid and Vania have worked a lot, have worked very hard, extremely hard on this. Junaid, please take over.
Yeah, sure, sir. All right, guys. So from the start of this course, we have been talking about FD. We talked about a platform that you guys will be using to build on top of it. And today we'll get an introduction to that platform, what that platform is, what is it all about, and how can you get started with it. So before we get into the details, let's start with a simple question. We have discussed about system of record. Can you quickly recall and share in messages what was system of record? You can just type into the message on Zoom or on YouTube stream. Exactly. System of record was source of truth. Now, every company already have a traditional system of record. It can be an ERP for operations, QuickBook for accountants, and so on. And these traditional system of records, they define the state of truth for the business. Now, when we are talking about organizations and the traditional system of record, along with those system of records, like let's say an ERP like Odoo or a software like QuickBooks. Now, along with those softwares, we have got some humans that are responsible for using those softwares in that organization. Like if we take an example of QuickBook, there will be some accountant hired by that company, and that accountant carries all the organizational knowledge, like how to operate in QuickBooks, what is our format, how I will be making entries for any invoice there, and so on. So on one hand, we have got a traditional system of record. On the other hand, we have a human, and that human was always responsible for all the knowledge to maintain and use that system of record to get the state of and source of truth for that business. On the other side, we are talking about AI agents, and we are talking about AI workers, where our vision and our goal is to make AI workers that will be responsible for taking over some roles in the same organizations. And when they are taking over those roles, then they also need all the knowledge that's present in the mind of those accountants, of those humans that are operating there. And currently, there is no better way or no system of record that is serving that need. So to fulfill that need, we took the in our own hands and we have designed a framework that we're calling KSR. So KSR is the governed authoritative knowledge layer for both humans and AI agents and AI workers that will be taking over those roles in those organizations. So let's head over to KSR, look at from how we can assess it, and then we can get into more details. So I will just share my screen. And let's quickly look at how we can assess KSR right away. So says to KSR, you have to just type in and you will also get link to KSR repo later on github.com/Panaversity/KSR. And on GitHub, you can get access to the open source framework that is right now in beta 1 and you can start using it. So once you open that framework, since it's in beta 1, so before we move on to the quick start section, what you can do is first you can start this repo and you can click on the watch button. So as the framework is getting more updates and getting developed, you will know live what is happening over here. So Ms. Vania, are you with this?
Yes, Junaid, I'm available.
Perfect. So let's move into the concepts like what is KSR, why we have built it, and how it will be working, and how it's different from just a RAG system or other knowledge systems that are present out there.
Sure. If we scroll down to its README first, we have a presentation. Can we open that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, in this particular presentation, the whole README core part we have developed about this framework is in this particular presentation. As Sir Junaid mentioned, that what is the basic difference between the traditional SOR systems and our knowledge system of record system. So let's start with then examples and understand with by linking to our particular website and our particular framework. So KSOR is not just a simple system of record, but it's a source of truth. One book that everyone must follow. What does that means? If we scroll down, let's start with an example of a hospital. First, suppose yes, we should move to the second slide. Okay, we have a question here that how much medicine dosage is safe for a 6-year-old child? There is a question, and if we ask this question with a AI helper, for suppose a AI helper A, it says a one particular amount, right? It get your query, move to a web search or somewhere and fetch your answers and give you a particular certain amount of a medicine dosage that is safe for a 6-year-old child. Same question you ask to the helper B, and it gives you another answers that is different from the first one, means that the dosage concentration is different from the other one. Similarly, you ask from a helper C, and it gives you another that is different from helper A and helper B. Now the problem is that you will think uh, which dosage is particularly safe. Either the helper A, either the answer of helper A, helper B, or helper C. Now here you develop a trust issues here, whether which answer will be like more correct or which answer you should avoid. So here is the basic problem that used to face whenever we talk to the AI, that whether the its response that is generated is factual based or not. So these are the problems that we are going to cover with the help of our KSOR system. Okay, now as we discussed above that we have three particular AI assistants and everyone gave the different answer. Now why does that happen? First we have to figure it out, then we will try to fix it one by one. Number one, the helper A get your query, and it might search from an old Wikipedia page that might be outdated, right? Or helper B might search your answer from a certain PDF book, or from a research that must be outdated or a previous one. uh, the helper C might give you an answer from its pre-trained knowledge that it used to read in 2022, and so on. So it means that every helper gave you an answers that fetch from a different sources, might be a Wikipedia page, might be a certain research, might be from a PDF or some pre-trained knowledge, and so on. So we don't have a single uh, a PDF or single book or single source of truth from where we can fetch an authoritative or a factual answer that we can trust upon, right? So this is the problem, and why this was happening, we have see that here as well. If we move forward to the next slide.
Vanya, before we move forward, let me add something.
Sure.
Let's go back to the previous slide. These are different RAG sources. There can be another issue. The other issue is that the pre-trained knowledge is from thousands of different sources. And LLMs are pre-trained, but they are stochastic in nature. They can answer different things at different time. If you ask the same question to LLM, it will answer in a different way, depending exactly the same question. But at different times, it will answer differently. So there are two issues involved. One is the RAG sources from which the data we are getting. The other one is that by definition, LLMs are stochastic in nature and they can answer in different ways. Vanya, please continue.
Exactly. So we understand the problem and its occurrence. Now we will move to the solution. What can help to fix all these problems? So here we introduce the 8 concepts, which we will cover one by one. These combined will help us to achieve our goal. That is that we can achieve a deterministic answer. We can actually retrieve an answer that is, based on the some facts and figures, right? So let's move to the concept number 1, that is one official book. Okay, now we have a question here: what page is the real one? uh, now we have different questions here. For suppose, what is the medicine dosage for 6-year-old child? These are the questions that are not that might be answers in different blogs, in different researches, or in the, a pre-trained knowledge. But are these present in our some book that we can say that it is a source of truth? So let's review the before table. Here we have an old book says one amount, a website says another, and old message says a third amount. Three answer, and your AI agent can pick any one of them. But now we have developed a and our official book. We can say that our source of truth, that we have verified from our knowledge from all the sources, and we can say that all the facts, all the figures mentioned in that particular book is not is particularly actual and particularly true. If we look at the after blog, we can say that the book page 7 says what amount. So whenever we ask a question, we will refer to our that particular book. Now the misleading 3 question problem will not occur in that particular solution, because now we have a one official book in this case, right? So if when we move to our KSOR GitHub repo, we will see that where our these official book documentation and markdown files will lie. That is in our knowledge folder. We have to just remember that for a for our further practical approach. Okay, now let's move to the second concept, that is what goes in it. Now we have our official book, but now the question is that what can we add into that particular book? We can add anything into that, or we have a certain thing that we should add it or we should avoid to add it. Let's check it, and then we can decide what is best for adding in our book. If we look into that, the green box goes in the book. We can say that for the hospital, how do we treat a fever? Who is allowed to sign this? What is the safe amount for a particular dosage for a 6-year-old child? We can add such information in our book that are not readily changed within a days, or within a couple of hours. But what should we avoid to add in our book are how many beds are free, whose patients in room number 4, how much medicines are left. These are the stats that can frequently change within an hours. So our book should hold a particular data that change slowly, and you need a human that can decide that whether this information is true or not, and after approving that, this information will go into your book. So number one rule, you have your one official book. Number two, what should be go in your book? That knowledge that not readily change, right? So these are the first two concepts. Now move to the concept number 3. Okay. Now we have stems. Stems means who will, validate that particular information. How do I know that a page can be trusted or not? This is the most critical one, that your official book has a particular knowledge, either it is validated or not. So for this you have a concept 3, that is a stem. If we look into the a simple card, we have uh, safe amount for children, that is an article or a blog that is written by Dr. Sana Malik, signed by the medicines committee, started on 3rd March 2026, and it has a version 4, and it is written that version 3 is outdated, and read by all the nurses and doctors, it is available. So this page is it means that all the information here are approved by the humans, by the medicine committee, and now all the nurses and doctors and your AI agent can read from it and provide the information from that particular page. So this is the basically stamp that will be a stamp, you can say that, or a status that will be added on your every page of your book. So a stamp means you can trust that page. No stamp means you cannot trust that page, in a simple words. Then we have a concept number 4, door, which means that whether you have to, for suppose that should this answer be allowed if you ask any question from an AI agent. Now it has to decide that whether it should give you that particular information or not. In one case, if we look into the green box, a nurse asks how much medicine for a 6-year-old. This information is present in a book, yes. Is it allowed to see it? Yes, a nurse can see it, but and it can also answer from that particular page. She has an access and she can answer from that particular page, right? But if a visitor came and he asked that what is written in the room for patient notes, the information is available in the book. No, not any random person can see it, and no information will come out from that particular book. So we are deciding, or we are adding a checkpoint here, who can see that information and who can give that answer of that particular information to you. So we have two check here. Either we can give all the information, or it has access to certain peoples, and you will get information basis on that checkpoints, right? So this is the concept number 4, that is the door. Then we have concept number 5, that is I don't know. What if the answer is not in the book? Should it guess it, or should it provide an honest opinion that it doesn't know the particular answer? What do you think? Comment in your chat box. Should it guess, or should there be an honest answer? Exactly, honest answer. Why? If you ask any question, it might guess anything, or it might develop any new medicine that does not exist and provide information about that. It might hallucinate, exactly. So we have a danger in that guessing point. We might get the information that does not exist in the real world, whereas in that case scenario, it is better that your AI agent give you an opinion that is honest, that uh, right now there is no particular information about that topic, right? So this is the concept number 5. Refusing is an answer and often the right one, right? Then we move to the concept number 6, show the page. If you ask any question and it give you an answer, now still we don't know that is it follow our agent follow our source of truth book or any other particular blog or article or anything. So how we can trust that is the answer is based on the actual uh, figures or not? For suppose we ask a question about the medicines, right? And it should give us an answer from our book with the particular reference. For suppose here is the safe amount from medicine rules, page number 7, version number 4. Here it tells you everything that the this rule is available at page number 7 and the version number 4. The whole information is present and you can cross check this information if you want to. So rather than giving you a direct answer, now we have a reference as well of that particular answer, and if you want to cross check it, if you want to check that whether it is signed by a medicine committee or not, you can always look into that. Let's move to the concept number 7. Okay, now what if we want to add a new rule in our book? What step we have to follow, what should we have to do if we want to add a new rule in our book, or for suppose that a new page in our book? For suppose if we look into the Monday section, Dr. Sana writes a new page. It could be a new information, a new rule, or anything that she wanted to add. In Tuesday, ahead of the nurse check it, right now in a state 1 and a state 2, helper cannot see it. Okay, in Friday section, a committee sign it. This is the moment where they will approve it or they will reject it, right? And then from the Friday, if they approve it, it will be available in your book. And your if your MCP is connected, or you can use your AI agent to retrieve that knowledge. So by adding a new rule, it doesn't mean that everyone can add a new page or approve it. Only an authoritative person have to approve it, sign it, and then it will be available to all the people, all the helpers that they want to access, right? So this is the particular method and the concept 7, getting a page in, how we can do this in our official book. Let's move to the concept number 8, that has many doors. Now we have a book that we can say that it is our system of record. How we can reach it for a people, for an agent, and so on, for AI agents. Number 1, we have 4 doors total. Number 1, a website that is available for the humans. Okay, nurses, parents, anyone from the hospital, they want to access it, they will see from a website. Number 2, a list file. It will be an llm.txt file. We will see that in a few moments. A list file is basically available for an AI to find out the things. And number third one, the helper door, that is a MCP connector. You will connect it with your AI agent, and with the help of that, you can call it, search your knowledge, retrieve it, read it, and help with it, right? So basis on the tools, you can fetch its available knowledge. Then we have a third part, OKF bundle, a sealed box. You can say that we will look into that in other few classes. It is like a bundle. If you want to deploy the same system into some another hospital, you can do that with the help of this OKF bundle. In short term, it is a package which is readily available for deploying into other system, right? So we have right here total 4 doors: a website, a list file, helper doors, and seal box through which you can access your official system of record book. So uh, with the help of all these 4 points, we try to fix out our problem. If we scroll down to the next slide, right here, how it will help us and how it may not change the things, that is the important concept here. By following all these things, but it might change. Number one, how it explains something. With the help of KSOR, you can when you connect with the MCP, AI agent might read your profile, and it will explain all the particular topics and things with the depending on your level of understanding. Give you your personalized examples. If you want a slow pace or faster pace, it depends on your profile, and it will adopt it, all the languages it speaks, and so on. But it might not change is that what you are going to learn, your system of records, your topics, your rules, and all the things you mention in the books are not changeable, and these will be remain as it is, as we write in our book. So these are the two comparison, what can change and what we cannot change here when we connect it with the AI agent. Let's move to the next slide. Now, the first question we ask from our AI agent, after applying all the 8 concepts, how it will change now. Let's see. Now we ask the same question again. How much medicine is safe for a 6-year-old? Number one, helper A, medicines rules, medicine rules, it fetch the answer and page 7 version 4 say this amount. Now helper B give exactly the same answer, medicine rules, page 7 version 4 say this amount. Means that the amount of all helper A and B will be same as it is getting the answer from our official book, and same like with the helper C. So same question, same answers, and it is the validated one as well after applying the 4 concepts. So if you don't have a system of record, your helpers AI assistant might have a different answers every time, and with the help of KSOR, it will decide, it will slow down, it will personalize the answers, but the answer every time it gave will be from the your official book, that is the system of record. So this is the basic overview of the concept, why we need it, what was the problem that it is solving, and what are the 8 core principles based on our KSOR. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Vanya. Now let's go over it again. Slowly. No hurry. Please stop file sharing so that we can talk face to face. Junaid bhai?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What we are going to do is, all three of us are going to, we are not going to use any technical word. We are not going to use any technical word, which Junaid will go into detail technically later on. But at this stage, we are only going to discuss the concept as Vanya did. What was the good thing about Vanya? She did not name a single technology so that anybody who has zero background can understand it. Now we are going to come at the same thing from a different angle. Is the word system of record a new word? No. It is new vocabulary? No. It was present for a number of years, with decades. What was the traditional system of record? Traditional system of record, for example, an accounting system in a company, was a traditional system of record. For example, if you ask it, how much did I spend on meals, a marketing guy, and what was my budget? and how much I have spent so far on meals for customers. Let's say if the budget for that particular salesman is 50,000, so you can ask a database and it will give you the figure that your budget is 50,000. Then you will ask, how much have I spent so far? This was a traditional system of record. It will give you, for example, it will say that so far you have taken 4 customers out with a total bill of 37,000. You still have 13,000 left in your budget. This was a traditional system of record. Now we go to the next level. It did not contain any logic. It did not contain any knowledge. It only contained data. If you go to any company, you will have different kind of databases. In the end, but at the bottom, it is in a database. But conceptually, we don't want to worry about whether it is in a database or in a file. It is knowledge, but only of data. That is the traditional way. There was no knowledge. Now we are moving to knowledge system of record. Now, Junaid, please revise this up to this point. Then we'll go forward.
Yep. So what was happening before? Just like sir mentioned, system of record is not something new that we are inventing, and it is not even something that have come or that have been invented right after AI agents. System of record have existed for decades. Just to name it, we can say all the ERPs, they serve as system of record. All the CRMs, they are system of record for customer information. All the accounting softwares like Xerox, QuickBooks, they are also system of records. And those system of records, the purpose was to define the state of the business. Like, what is the current state of this particular thing in that business? Like ERP was for operations and so on. So first thing, system of records is not something new. But before AI agents, with system of record, there was one more thing, and that was the operator, which were humans. So on one hand, we have got the state of the business. On the other hand, we have got humans in the company or organization, and that human is responsible for operating that system of record or using that system of record to deliver some particular task or value in that company. So that human, or if we take example of QuickBooks, then that particular accountant was responsible for managing that software and all the knowledge like how to operate, what is the company's policy for accounting, what particular things the company cares about or knows about or have to follow or to comply with the law. All of that knowledge, all of those policies of that organization, they were in the mind of that accountant. And it was getting accumulated month by month, day by day, week by week. And that accountant was the most critical human there to operate that system of record. Now, it was good, systems were working, everything was fine. But when we are talking about AI agents or AI workers, and we want those AI workers to take over the roles, to take over and deliver those particular tasks, then the traditional system of records, they are not just enough to serve that need. Because that traditional system of record just contain the state. It is missing all the other information that that human on that job have to operate and use that state to deliver some value. So for this purpose, we need something new, a new kind of system of record. And this is something that not just we are talking about. You can look at any other person anywhere, even in Silicon Valley, who is building agents, who is talking about agents. Like just go look at what the CEO of Box is saying or CEO of Y Combinator is saying or so on. Everyone is identifying that need, that we need something new for system of records. There is a need for something new to make AI workers and get them in limelight or get them in normal way of doing the business. And for that purpose, one solution that we're proposing is we need knowledge system of records here. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Now, let me repeat again. There is no hurry. We have plenty of time. Even if we don't complete this, we will discuss this in the next class and meeting. But right now, we have a lot of time. And relax and think about it. There were no AI agents. Knowledge was not understood by computers. Computers could store a PDF, which humans, this is all traditional, before AI. Humans could read books, which could be in PDF form, residing on a computer. So therefore, in a previous organization, there was two systems. One was the traditional system of record, which contained the data. That was number one. The other one was manuals, books, rule books, procedure books. It used to contain all the rules. So there were two things. But these rules and these books, who used to use it? Humans. Computers, of course, at that time, even 3-4 years back, could not understand knowledge. They can contain a PDF, you can store it on a computer, but who will use it? Who will read it? Humans will read it. So therefore, before AI, there was two kinds of things. One was the system of record. Just to be clear, now I am naming it traditional system of record, which contained data about the company. Then there was a procedure manuals, operational manuals, which were written by humans for humans. And before, in large companies, either it was in small companies, it was in the head of the employees. In large companies, it was manuals, and all the employees used to follow that manuals after reading it. And some senior people used to write that manuals, and the others were following it. Now, this is an example for an enterprise. Let's now change that example to an educational institution. Vanya gave an example of a medical hospital. Then Junaid gave an example of an enterprise. Now we are moving into a education system. Everybody can hear my voice clearly? Okay. In an education system, if you go to a large university, I went to Arizona State University, ASU, there was a huge system. We used to when we used to get admission, is used to be recorded. Okay, now Zia Khan, I used the system extensively because I registered in 3 degrees at the same time. So therefore, I was using it extensively. But normally, a student used to go and register in a particular course. Then, sorry, in a particular program, like let's say in my case, MBA program or an engineering program. I did all three. But normally a student registered in one particular program. Then for each semester, he registered for a number of courses. All this was the traditional system of record. All this. It contained all the data. Who was the teacher of the class? Which students are in the class? What was the grades in the students? And so on. Of course, I did not see it, but there would have been another system of record, which was the financial system of records, which we were paying the fees, it was paying the teachers, and so on. This was a traditional system of record in every university. Then class started. The class had a textbook. Think about it. In every class, there was normally a textbook. The teachers prescribed the textbook or wrote it. Some other person wrote it normally. The teacher prescribed the textbook for the class. Then the students, even before the class start, bought that book and start reading it, hopefully. Then the teacher taught from that class, taught from that textbook. So therefore, this was for, again, just like the procedure manual. In the educational institutions, this textbook had all the knowledge which was being transferred to the students. And this textbook was very useful even after the student graduated. If you come to my house, right now I have disposed of some of them, but for the last 20, 30 years, all the textbooks were with me. Whenever I got stuck in some practical way, in some practical manner, I used to use this textbook to go back and refer to it and use it to solve my problem. So you have seen in an enterprise, in a hospital, in an education institution. Traditionally, there were two things. There was knowledge for humans in books, and there was system of computerized system of record, which you can say traditional system of record for data, which was stored in databases or files. Junaid, take the education example and please revise it so that we understand the basis of the whole thing.
All right, let's walk back through the educational example. So right now, we have talked about creation system of records. We have seen how they usually work in companies or enterprises. Now, if we talk about education systems, what happens? What is the student journey there? A student applies for that admission. A student will get back the admission. Then he had to pay the fees to confirm his enrollment in that particular program or that particular course. Now, all of this data, this is stored somewhere, maybe in a file, maybe in a database, or so on. Once the program or his enrollment is confirmed in that particular program, after that, he will get the joining date for classes. Like from this date, your class will begin, this will be your classroom, and so on. And he will be in that class on that particular date. The first part, that was about enrollment, that was about fee confirmation, that was about securing admission in some program. Now the second part, that is about learning. So even in traditional system of records, there can be multiple system of records even in an educational institution. Now once his learning journey starts, what happens there? Maybe there will be a teacher in their classroom, and that teacher will get some guidelines from the university, like this is the curriculum that you will be covering in this course or in this particular subject. Along with that curriculum, he will also have one or more textbooks that will be used in that class. Now we have got a teacher and we have got a textbook in the class to learn from. But that teacher is may or may not be the author of that textbook. So that textbook can be written by one or more humans. The teacher can be an author of that textbook, or teacher may not be an author of that textbook. And the teacher will help or will teach the students from that particular textbook, and the students will be learning from there. Now, once the program completes, the learning journey with the teacher that ends there. At the same time, that textbook, if it was good enough, if it had knowledge or the same domain knowledge, that was my target profession, then that textbook can remain with me for years or even continuously, even right now. So this was the traditional education system, and we have a different system of records there. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's move. Let me, I'm very bad in singing songs. But you just to say, dan 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 dan. AI. It is September 2022, Junaid. Am I right?
Yes.
ChatGPT. Now the AI has arrived. Now the music starts. And what is AI? AI has taken all the, we are going to continue with the education example. And we can, of course, convert that into enterprise as well as medical. But let's stick to the education example because a lot of our students do not have an enterprise experience. But education, everybody understands. Everybody has gone to school. Otherwise, they won't be here. Now, AI basically gets pre-trained on all the textbooks in the world. This is very important. ChatGPT has been trained on all the textbooks in the world, in your subject matter. We are not talking about generally. Of course, it is trained on most of them. But let's say computer science, data structures, or let's say programming, Python programming. Already all the books in the world about Python is already, AI has already learned it, or what you call pre-trained on it. Now, my next question is to you is, because in order to understand, it has taken us, me, Junaid and Vania, working extensively 2 years to understand the whole issue completely. Maybe more. So therefore, try to understand the issue and don't hurry. Relax and slowly try to understand what we have understood in 2 years. So therefore, you should take at least a day to understand it. It's not magic. Now, what was I saying? That all the textbooks are already in the ChatGPT or Claude. Already there. The system knows it. Now, if I go into a class, you will say, sir, in our class, we don't need a textbook. All the information of all the textbooks are already in the LLM. First of all, just hold on to this point. Am I correct when I say that ChatGPT and Claude already has seen and learned from all the textbooks in the world in that particular subject? Am I correct? What do you think? Now, if this is correct, everybody is saying yes. If this is correct, then the second question arises, do we need a textbook? Now, some are saying yes, some are no. Can anybody who is a good speaker and who wants to say no can raise hands so that we can ask him to give his argument? Anybody who wants to? We are not going to make fun of you, buddies.
Right, Salman, and mute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Yeah, sir. So basically, I'm not saying no. Yeah, of course, ChatGPT or
why I wanted no, so that it can be, we can debate it and improve the reasoning.
yeah. So my argument would be, from a different perspective, that all the models, you can say the prior premium models, have been pretty much trained with all the information, publicly available information that we have over the internet, as well as from the textbooks or kind of Wikipedia and other encyclopedia and everything. Now, based on that, they definitely would be carrying a knowledge cutoff date as well with them. So, for instance, if the training was up till January 2026, from February 2026 until today, they might lack the knowledge that we might inquire from them. So in that case, yes, we do not need any kind of textbook today, but we do really want the latest information when inquired, as opposed to when it was trained, till the last day. So
And
that's my
Salman,
argument.
let's for argument, I'm going to add let's say my LLM cutoff date is today. Right now we are at night at 8 p.m. Let's assume my LLM has been trained till this point, and the cutoff date is exactly the current date.
Yep.
Just for argument. Then do we need
Yep.
write a textbook?
No, we do not need a textbook to be written at all, unless we are
Because
kind of providing additional updates or information.
I know the thing is, I'm
Yeah,
assuming there's no update.
yeah.
We
So
have
fine.
already
No.
the cutoff date is exactly right now.
Yeah.
It
So
is
we do not, as of
9
now,
9 p.m. 9 p.m. today, Wednesday.
we do not need any textbook. Yeah.
Thank you, Salman, my dear friend. Junaid, let's hear from one other person raised their hand.
All right, Mohammed, unmute yourself.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Welcome.
Sir, what I think there is a need for a textbook because we have read in our book in Agent Factory that once we ask a question to our agent or Claude or ChatGPT, it goes and search for the data and take it. There is no neither of the they are present which checks that the data that has been coming us is correct or not. Sometimes it is correct, sometimes it is not, because we didn't know. Whenever it goes for a web search, it takes a data from a authentic website or authentic website or a textbook, or it has been fetched from something where like Quora Digest, where people used to give their own opinions. So that in order to verify the text that has been generated or fetched by our Claude or our AI agent, we will definitely be required a textbook that will match with the data that has been generated or fetched by the agent, so that we have been provided with the correct information.
Thank you so much. Now, Junaid, I'm going to ask you the same question.
All right, and the answer in one line is we still need textbooks. Now, let's get into the reasoning. Well, if ChatGPT or if let's say we have an LLM that is trained to the knowledge till today, like 26th of August, 9 p.m., even then we need textbook. So the first question is, why do we need a textbook, or what is the purpose of a textbook? The purpose of the textbook is to learn something. We take textbook because we have got some goal, and that textbook is going to help us to learn the things to get to that goal. So we are use textbooks to learn. Now, when we take a textbook is not just one topic. Let's say I want to learn to build AI agents and deploy them in companies. Now, this is not a one topic. This is a complete progression that have a lot of parts, a lot of things, a lot of moving components to learn, to understand, to deploy, to practice to get there. Now, when I'm using an LLM can teach me one particular topic, but it cannot get me to the complete arc. This is the first argument. Now, on the other hand, when I'm asking AI agent something, even if I ask the same question, like how can I build AI agent in 2026? Every time the answer will be different. Sometimes it will recommend me use Claude SDK. This is a tutorial, or these are the 5 steps you can use. The second time, it will divert me towards OpenAI Agent SDK or some other framework. The third time, the answer will be different. Now, this is another problem. Every time I'm using LLM or an agent like ChatGPT or Claude to learn, the answer changes every time. On the other hand, it has no learner's record. When I'm learning, it is a progression. I'm going to learn new concepts daily, And all those new concepts on first hand, they shall be derived from one continuous source so I can continue my learning journey. On the other hand, there must be some record like what I have covered. Where was I was standing when I covered that particular concept? Was I at my weakest point or did I really master it? Now all these learners record this is missing. So every time I get back to it, it will start from scratch, teaching me from the basics or just taking some fragments from its memory. It will advance only a little bit. So if it's just one topic, ChatGPT, Claude, everyone is good enough. But when we're talking about a complete journey, then we do need a textbook for that. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Now, what happened was about 2 years back, ChatGPT announced study mode. Junaid, am I right? It was called study mode.
It was study mode.
Then Google announced, like, if I remember correctly, extended learning or something.
Yes.
I don't remember the name exactly. I was so happy. Now I'm going to tell my students, I don't have to do a lot of work. I'm going to just tell them, go and learn. Use ChatGPT and learn it. The problem was, the first one was, each time each student was taught in a different way and a different topic. Even if you tell ChatGPT, study mode, please teach me Python. To one student, it can start from explaining the variables. To another student, it can start by explaining the functions and so on. And there is another problem. Therefore, the first problem was LLMs are stochastic by nature. They are not deterministic, which means they will give a different answer every time, even if you are the same person. Number two problem, LLMs have been trained on all the books, Python books, and material, web material. If somebody has written something wrong on the web about a particular topic, and the LLM is trained on it, the wrong data, it will give you a wrong answer. This happened to me. I was in a stadium. I was attending Selani entrance test in National Stadium, Karachi. And one of my colleagues, not my colleagues, one person came up. He's a CEO of a company, a motorcycle company. And he asked me, sir, this is a poem by Allama Iqbal, and ChatGPT is saying that it is in one of, which is called, the name of the book is Bangidra. That poem is in Bangidra, but because I was confident, ChatGPT told me that it was in Bangidra. So therefore, in my WhatsApp group, I told people that this poem is from that book. And somebody sent me a PDF and said, sir, it is not in there. How are you saying it is in that? You didn't even check and told me that it is in that. This is wrong information. And he was asking me, how come the ChatGPT gave him a wrong answer? The reason was, then because I did research when I came back home, at that time I just told him it was hallucination because I didn't know any better what to say. And that was the only answer I can come up with. But when I got home and did research, there was indeed a web page on which, because in Urdu, the content is not that much as compared to English. Somebody has written wrongly that this poem is in Bangidra. Therefore, ChatGPT picked it up. And in their pre-trained knowledge, anybody who asked them what this poem belongs in which book it belongs to? It gave the wrong answer. So therefore, especially for medical reasons, there's a third. Imagine if there was a wrong answer and you told the doctors wrong, told the patient wrongly. What are the implications for it? So therefore, there is a third paradigm also of knowledge.
All right, guys, is my voice clear? You can just answer with yes or no in the chat. Perfect.
Sorry, my electricity went out. I'm on backup generators. Okay.
Yes, sir, your voice is clear now.
Okay, my voice is clear now?
Yes, sir.
Now, where were we? That we looked into the first concept, the stochastic nature. Then we went into the second concept, that the data can be wrong on the web and the pre-trained knowledge of LLM can be wrong. Then there is a third concept called hallucination, which happens when the LLM is guessing and it does not have the data and it just guesses. And there is a fourth concept. Your private data will not be on the internet. The private data will not be on the internet. I'm talking about your company data. So therefore, for all these four reasons, we have to have a new knowledge system of record, which you can also call the textbook. Please, Vanya, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm available.
Would you like to shed light on these 4 points?
Sure, sir. When we talk about the knowledge system of records, number one concept, sir, told us about that whenever we ask a question from our AI agent, it give us answer by by fetching from the internet, from any website. So it does not authenticate whether the question, whether the answer is right or not. It just tells you whatever the written on that particular web search. Number two, for suppose if you ask a question about any particular topic, for suppose that you have an exam tomorrow from your physics topic, and you ask a ChatGPT study mode to teach you that particular topic, it will teach you in its own way. Like it has no knowledge what's in your textbook. It will teach you, it might be more in depth, it might be a shallow or intermediate level. On the other hand, if your friend asks a study mode to teach, it will teach in a different direction, in a different way. So in case of chat gpt study mode or Gemini learning guide, we are not deterministic that they will follow the same curriculum or the same topic as we are, as they're supposed to be. So we cannot totally rely on them. And same is the case with their answers as well. We cannot totally rely on their answers, whether they search from the internet or from their pre-trained knowledge. We have to cross check it every time. For that, the best source is that you create your own system of knowledge and verify from that book. whether the question is from your particular source or from any web search or any blog or any other source of material. So this is the one thing that KSOR provided you.
Yes. Junaid, could you revise it? Because this is a very important point, all four of them.
Yeah, sure, sir. Right, guys, while we're revising, is there anyone who can list all 4 points in the chat? Like, let's look at who is actually listening and who have also noted all 4 of them. So starting from the first point, we have to always remember when we are using LLMs, they are not deterministic in nature. On one end, we do know that they are trained on all the data that is publicly available. This means they are really intelligent. They can answer from that. On the other end, their answer will always be different. There will there is no one way or there is no 100% guarantee that they will be the same answer that they will provide us every time. Now that answer that can come from pre-trained knowledge, or the source of that answer can also be web search. Because when we are using AI agents, then agents have got access to the web and they can just go to web to search and get back. Now when they are using that publicly available knowledge, there is another problem. LLMs can be trained on wrong data. If no one verified or no one labeled that particular information, then they may get trained on that wrong information. And if an LLM was trained on some wrong information and we are using it for some daily work, let's say it was a medical agent and it was giving advices on when you should actually visit a doctor. And based on some hypothetical data, there was some advice for these sort of systems. You don't have to visit the doctor, just take a day and look at your condition. Now, this one bad advice can even cost someone their life. So, the wrong data, that is really bad. And that can cost a lot when you're building AI agents. On the other hand, our third points, LLMs can also hallucinate. Even if the data is right, whether it's from web search, whether it's from their pre-trained knowledge, LLMs can hallucinate and make mistakes. They can provide us back with the wrong answer. And the fourth and the most important information, all the publicly available data, all the books, everything. Frontier models are trained on top of that. But then there is private data, the data that is kept, that is inside the companies, that is inside the organizations. Now, LLM don't have access to the data. LLMs don't know what that data is about. And the companies, the institutes, they cannot operate, they cannot develop or deploy AI workers if those AI workers don't have access to that data. So this private information that is inside the company, this is really important. And due to these 4 reasons, we have a need for some sort of knowledge layer that we are discussing about. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Junaid and Vania. Now let's move forward. Up to now, we have not talked about AI agents or AI worker. I have not. I was merely asked you, do we need a textbook in the traditional sense of the word, in the new world, in the AI world, in the AI era? Do we need a book? Yes, we do. We need a textbook to teach the students. We need a textbook to keep the agents honest. We already mentioned the 4 reasons why agents will need a textbook. And we are calling this textbook a knowledge system of record. Now, in an online university like Panaversity, you will have 2 systems of records. One is a knowledge system of record, which is our textbook, which is on agentfactory.panaversity.org or agentfactory.piaic.org. That is a knowledge system of record. which is one implementation, which is a vertical system of record. You can call it agent factory system of record, but it is built on top of knowledge system of record. It is a kind of knowledge system of record. And we will also need another system of record, which will be called a student system of record or learning system of record, which will track the students, which will say who got admission in what class, what is the progress of that student. It is not a knowledge system of record. So therefore, we, in order to teach online, we will need two systems of record. One is based on knowledge system of record. The other one is learning or student system of record. Junaid, could you highlight this or revise this point?
Yes. So when we're looking at examples of knowledge system of record in context of education, the first and the best example that we have is within Panaversity. So on one end, the students are here to learn, and we have just established we need a textbook. In our case, the textbook is Agent Factory that you can access at agentfactory.panaversity.org or agentfactory.piic.org. Now, this textbook is your knowledge system of record, or you can also call it content system of record. Now, this is the first system of record that you are using to learn, and this is your textbook. But just having this textbook is not enough for learners to actually learn. The first system of record, that is Agent Factory. The second system of record have to hold all the data about learners, like what they are learning, what topic they are on, what is their progression, what are they struggling on. So this is the second system of record or second knowledge system of record. And we can also call it learner system of record because it will be like recording all the data about the learners and about them. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So therefore, what you are going to do is, this is an open source project. Vania and I have Junaid, and it is Apache licensed by both Vania and Junaid, their work, and you will going to contribute it, and we are going to convert it to a resource for humanity. Now let's move to the from education to enterprise. I would say that if you want to develop an agent, most of the people who are right now developing agents are not using knowledge system of records. Now, my question to you is, one of my, he might be even in the class right now, one of my great friends, very old friend, by old, we are not old. By means, we have been friends for decades. I'm just joking. Bashir basically was telling me that his boss asked him, he is in America, somewhere around Atlanta, and he was saying his boss asked him to develop a AI agent which has contained all his expertise. And after 2-3 weeks, she asked him again, Bashir, have you done it? He said, yes, it is working, but there's a problem. Every time it gives a wrong answer. Not a wrong answer. It gives a different answer. Let me repeat. I misspoke. He said it always, he was talking to me about a week back, and we were discussing KSOR. Junaid, can you explain this? If we make a Bashir bot or Bashir AI worker, why would it, if it does not have a knowledge system of record, why would it give a different answer every time?
All right. So when we're talking about making Bashir's AI worker, or we can also call it Bashir digital twin. Not that digital twin is going to have to know everything about Bashir to actually resonate to his personality and answer from that everything that anyone is asking from him, from his professional life and so on. So If Bashir AI agent is developed without a knowledge system of record, then the AI have all just bits and pieces of data about him, like what is his personality about, how is he working daily, what are the things that he's particular about when he's operating in an organization, and so on. Now, all that data, it gets scattered across the surfaces. Like maybe we provide him with LinkedIn. When you're talking about professional aspects, just look at LinkedIn. When I am working in a company, these are the particular aspects that I'm talking about or that I'm taking care of. Now, when AI get these different scattered sources of data, it becomes difficult for even frontier LLMs to just reason over and then give right answer because the LLMs or the AI agents can't just judge which is the right source when there is conflicting information or when there is no information. So without a particular knowledge system of record, it becomes really difficult for AI agents to make the right decisions using the right data. Yes, sir.
Just like when we talked about Google and OpenAI system of study mode or extended learning, it doesn't work. Now we are talking about enterprise. In enterprise, it is even more important because it has a lot of private data for the company, which is not available. Now, one student asked a very good question. He seems to be quite an intelligent student. In the chat, he asked, "Sir, but if we ask Bashir, not talking about AI, Bashir AI, we are talking about Bashir himself, the same question, maybe if it is not simple questions, every time he will give also a different answer." What do you think about this, Junaid, this point?
Yes, sir, it is true. The answer will be different, but the answer will reflect the personality, the voice, and how Bashir actually operates or how actually Bashir responds to similar questions.
The point is, it might be slightly different, but given his expertise, that's the difference between experts and students. More or less, he will answer in a particular frame, in a particular boundaries. He's not going to say at one time that you can give a child 4 pills, and another time he will say give him you can only give him 1, because if you give him 4, the child will be dead. So maybe there will be slight differences in different answers, even for a human, but experts normally give, and that is why we are asking him, if Bashir wants to communicate his knowledge, he will have to create a knowledge system of record to be consistent. Now, let's move to the next topic, which is connected to this. Actually, not topic. I have a question for you. If there is we have not discussed technology. So how do you going to connect to this system of record? How are humans going to read it? How are AI agents going to read it? That Junaid is going to cover later on. But my question is, if we somehow give the system of record, let's assume we are not talking about RAG. We are talking about that you create a system of record, knowledge system of record in a PDF and attach it, and it is not a very a great book, less than maybe, let's say, 750,000 or 800,000 tokens. And we attach it to the question, to the ChatGPT or Claude. Will it remove the stochastic nature of LLM, and will the LLM become deterministic now because it has a knowledge system of record? Did you understand my question? If we have attached, given a complete in PDF form or Markdown form, we have attached a knowledge system of record, because we have not discussed how are we going to use system technically. We are going to discuss that later. Now, will that remove the stochastic nature of LLM, and then the LLM will become deterministic?
All right, guys, think about the question once again. Don't just think about technologies or we need vector database, we need MCP. Just forget all the technologies, all those things. The question is, we have an agent, let's say ChatGPT, let's say Claude. Then we have got a document. It's a Word document or a PDF document. Guys, can you confirm if my voice is clear? All right, perfect. So the question is, if I just take my document, it can be a PDF, it can be a Word document. I document everything about me there. Let's say my personality or how do I work. Then I take that document, attach it back into ChatGPT at the start of the chat session. Now, will the LLM become deterministic? Will their stochastic behavior get reduced? This is the question. And now rethink about the reasoning like, will they improve? Will they not? And what is the reason for that? And try to answer that in your messages. And if someone
Sorry
is
again,
saying,
my friend.
yes, sir.
Sorry again, my electricity. My backup systems are not very expensive ones. Therefore, it takes some time to kick in. So therefore, the point was that it does not make the LLM deterministic. Let me repeat it again. Just because you have a knowledge system of record attached, it does not make the system deterministic. It remains stochastic, but with a difference. What was their difference? It basically now operates in an envelope. There are some boundaries. It is possible that if you ask a question from that knowledge system of record in an LLM, it might happen that it answers from a different chapter. If they are close, both of them are more or less related to a system, same topic. But it will try to respond from the knowledge system of record or textbook or whatever you want to call it, but in a particular range. The hallucination will be reduced and most of the 4 problems will be reduced and it will be grounded, as someone said just on the chat, on a particular source. Therefore, the first thing, if you want to create a AI worker, you have to create a knowledge system of record, which is KSOR. This is an open source platform. You can contribute it. Imagine your value. You are going to do, all our students and all our customers are going to do 2 things. Become Anthropic certified and build their own knowledge systems of record. And they can also use our agent factory system of record, which we have already made available and is in beta 1. This is the platform on which you are going to build your own knowledge system of record, which we are calling vertical systems of record, because you might create them for sales, you might create them for accounting, you might create them for teaching Python, you might create one for teaching, let's say, high school class, O levels, A levels, any kind of teaching, or a company product, or a medical product. We have just thought about three. Maybe there are others also. But these three cover most of the work environment and most of the AI workers. Now, Junaid, let's answer some questions.
All right, sir. Guys, you can just raise your hands and we can proceed with the QA session before ending the class. And from next class, we will get into hands-on and continue from here. Okay, you can unmute yourself.
Any
Okay.
questions?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, my friend.
Okay, sir. Yeah. What I understood from your lecture today is regarding if we feed the data of a company in an AI system, while we're talking about certain projects, like I've done certain projects in my company and my other department, which was AI department. And I was in the BI department basically. So when the AI department used to build a project for a company, for a customer company, so they put all the documents of that company into the AI system, right? And if someone query that data regarding sales revenue for the last year, for example, of that particular customer, so the AI answers that question easily. So I think that is also called a knowledge system of record for that particular case.
In that particular case, my friend, that is a traditional system of record because you are getting the data in your example. In your example, you were saying it is basically answers sales, how much for this particular sales for this particular customer.
No, I'm also talking about the policies about that company
Then,
and the
then, then you are
rules,
correct. Yes,
regulations, accounting data, everything we put in that AI system.
yes, that's what we did. We basically in our discussion said there are two different systems of record. One is the traditional system of record, and the
Yeah.
other one is knowledge system of record. Yes, my friend.
Yep.
Continue,
Yep.
please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next.
Salman.
Yeah, sir. So I just want some clarity and understanding actually. So in an enterprise, how would this go? So for example, in an enterprise, we have ERP systems, CRM systems, core banking system, digital systems. All of these have backend databases associated with them, right? So these
Yes.
are all structured data that are going into database tables at the end, rows and columns.
At this point, they are all traditional system of records.
Yeah. Now they also have some unstructured. So as we know that in the world of data, approximately 10 to 15% data are structured, and most of the data, like 80 to 85% data, are unstructured, such as policy, procedures, documents, presentations, video files, audio files, scanned documents, images. So all these unstructured data, in enterprises, mature enterprises, they do have a system of records for them as well in the form of enterprise content management system or document management system. So this is how they kind of control their or manage their data, whether it is structured or whether it is unstructured. Acha, now what I'm trying to understand here, when we will be going into an organization as an FDE, and in case we have an enterprise scale horizontal AI project going on over there, in that case, what do we have to do? Do we have to take all of this data, both structured and unstructured, of knowledge system of record and feed it into the AI model or give the AI model the access of this data? How is it going to really, work in the organization or enterprise? Or is there a possibility whereby we are saying that जो existing CRMs, ERPs, core banking systems, digital systems हैं, or content management systems and document management system agentic हो जाएं? So for instance, each of these systems may have their own data provisioning agents that can help our agent who are serving the customers in terms of exchanging the right information from within their existing repository rather than we forming a huge layer of new system, kind of knowledge system of record just for the sake of making it available for the agentic front end who is, talking to the customer. मैं थोड़ा समझना चाह रहा हूँ आगे जाएगा कैसे.
Yes, my friend. Actually, it's a very important and deep question.
Yep.
I'm slowly going to try to answer it because it has a lot of data which we have not covered so far. Now, let's reduce our scope. You went as a forward deployed engineer. Let's assume you went into UBL. Let's take an example because it makes understanding easy. You went into UBL and they asked you to create an AI worker for approving credits. When somebody applies for a loan, you basically are processing, you want to create an AI worker. So therefore, you are going to create a credit analysis knowledge system of record. I'm repeating. The first thing as a FDE you will do is you will create a credit knowledge system of record, which says, ask them what is their salary, if they are employed, if they are a company, ask them their sales, what is their cost, and so on. It has all the rules. And how do you analyze a customer? How do you do ratio analysis of that customer, of their balance sheets and income statements and the rest of the stuff? So you will create this knowledge system of record. But of course, it will
On
not
top
be
of the existing system of record, right?
no, a new one.
Okay, a new one, but it will pull the data from there, right?
Yes. That is mostly humans will do with help of AI. Now I'm going forward, getting to your point. Now the question is, there are other systems also. In the industry, they have this knowledge system of record. We have created this term because it was not there for a particular domain. You can also call it a vertical system of record, but the vertical system of records will be built on the top of knowledge system of records. But there is already a term in the industry, which is system of context. I'm repeating it. There is a term in the industry which has been invented. If you Google it or ask ChatGPT, it will immediately give you an answer. Right now, I don't want to name too many companies because it will confuse all the students, but you can check it. So therefore, this system of context basically will be connected to our vertical system of record, which was a content system of record, and to all the rest of the systems of the bank. And already software solutions are available for this. I even did not know this. One of my same friend, Bashir, told me that his company is spending money on LLMs and this system of context things, software. And this system of context,
right? So system of
this system of
sorry.
context is
So since
connected
the
to
system of
all the
context will be,
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so this will be horizontal in nature, right?
Yes.
The system of context would not be verticalized only, but this will be horizontal in nature and reusable.
Right now, we are not building that
as and
because
when we start. Right.
there are a number of different companies. Actually, if you go and look at our book, Junaid, can you open the book? If you go into the ecosystem, we have a chapter on system of context, connecting the records to real work. I think Junaid has become disconnected. We are having electricity problem throughout Pakistan.
Guys, is my voice is visible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, your
So
voice and your screen, both of them are clear. Yeah.
now we can see it.
All right.
This is the system of context. And you can go ahead and read it later on because we don't want to confuse the students right now. But this will be available, is available right now.
Right. And sir, one last question. So this system of context and knowledge system of records, is this part of any best practices that are like provisioned or proposed by the industry experts, such as, Claude or some other company?
That is the problem. These people are a little behind.
So where has this been invented from?
A system of context, they are talking about a lot of about system of context, and they have also started right now, I think 2 days back, Junaid. Can you look at our discussion and see the system of required tweet, which was made by someone on Tutor? Remember, I shared it on with you and the
Yes, sir.
team.
It was just a day back. So Salman, you can even look at the C of box and C of Y combinator. They had a really good thread about discussing system of record and even defining traditional system of record versus what does the new system of records look like. So
Right,
let me just
right.
Actually, we had discovered this system of record about 9-10 months ago. But
Okay.
until we basically tested our system and
Mm-hmm.
and we created the ZIA, because when I'm not sure, I don't teach to students. I discuss it with my team, but I do not teach to students. Then we created ZIA Tutor AI and other AI bots and AI tools. And we saw that our concepts were correct because everything was working. Then we started teaching.
Right, right, right. Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, Junaid, we have only 15 minutes. Can you move to the next part of your presentation?
yes, sure, sir. So next part it is about implementing and doing Hello World with KSOR. Since we have only got 15 minutes, we can look at the prerequisites and the steps to set up the KSOR. And then we'll get into the details in next class. Let me just share my screen. Alright guys, the first step is to get into GitHub and open the KSOR repo. For that, you can just search KSOR GitHub and you will get the first link to Panaversity/KSOR. Or you can just type into the browser github.com/Panaversity/KSOR. And you will also be getting the link in the WhatsApp discussion groups. So if you are not part of that, you can just join the discussion group from your Panaversity dashboard. Now, when we get on the repo and we have to just scroll down the README a little bit on the start here section. Now, the first prerequisite to run KSOR is Node.js. You have to install Node.js on your system if you don't have that yet. And if you already have installed Node.js, just ensure its version is above 24. So if you are new to everything, just open this link in the new tab. Switch your platform, whether it's macOS or Windows or Linux, and then you can download the binary from here. Just download the binary, extract it, and after completing the installation, you can do one final check to ensure you have got the Node.js ready and you can move to next step. So after completing the installation, just come to your terminal and run the single command node space -v. And you will get back a response like this one. Only thing to ensure is that the version here is above 24. So as long as it's v24 point something, you are good. It will be either 0.18 or it will be above that if you are installing or if you are updating Node.js. Now this is the first part to run KSOR. After this, if you are already an existing user or an existing developer, you can use the package manager of your choice. And if you are a new user, then you can just use npm that gets shipped along with Node.js. Now, to set up or to make a new system of record, you have to just run a single command. Now you can use it with npm, with pnpm, or with one, any one of them. For now, let's just copy the pnpm command and head back to terminal. And even before running the command, you can just open the terminal to the best position of your laptop or your machine where you are comfortable with making new projects. For me, it's the code folder. And I'm just
Junaid, your Zoom screen is showing.
Zoom screen. I will just stop and reshare my screen. Right, everyone, can you confirm in the chat if the screen is visible now?
Now, yes, now everything is working.
All right, perfect. Let's look at it quickly again. The first step is to open the Panaversity KSOR repo. For this, you can just type in browser KSOR GitHub. And the first link will be through Panaversity KSOR. Once you're on the repo, just scroll down a bit in the README, and here you will get on the Start Here section. Now, there are a few prerequisites that you have to complete before you can set up your first system of record for both humans and agent surface. The first thing you need is Node.js. If you already have Node.js, you have to just ensure that its version is 24 or above. If it's below that one, just upgrade it. If you are a new user, just click on this link and it will take you here. From here, you can just select your platform or OS, whether it's Mac, Windows, or Linux, and then download the binary. Just like any other software, download it, extract it, and Node.js will be running on your machine. Now to verify if Node.js is installed and if your version is above 24, just open a terminal and you have to type one command here. The command that you have to type is node -v. This will confirm whether your version is right or not. As long as it's v24 point something, you are good to go. You can move to the next step. If it's before v24, you have to upgrade it. And if this command is giving any error, just start your agent and ask your agent to get Node.js on your machine. Actually, the best way is to ask your general agent to set up Node.js on your machine. And if you don't have a general agent yet, you can use the manual method that we have used right now. This was the first part. Now, when you install Node.js, you also get one more thing along with it. And you can think of it as the package managers, or just for an example, you can think of it as delivery services to get something from a warehouse. Now, when you install Node.js, you also get a package manager that is called npm. So you can just type npm space -v and you will get back something here. You are good to go. If you are using any other package manager like pnpm or bun, you can continue with that as well. This is the only prerequisite before you set up and complete your Hello World with KSOR. This was the first step. Now, in the second step, with your preferred package manager, you can just copy the command and proceed from here. If you are using npm, use this one. If you are using pnpm, use this one. And in case of bun, this will be the command. And you have to copy the first line from here. So in our case, we have copied the first line from pnpm and we will paste it back in the terminal. Now this command have got some different things. The first one is pnpm, our package manager. Then it's our installation instruction. Here is our package name. And the last one, this is the name for your project. So you can name it anything. You can just copy and use the default command. Or if you want to update the name of the project, just name it anything. Let's say hello KSOR and press enter. And right after running the command, it may ask you for your permissions, and after that, it will set up your project. And here it is telling me that hello KSOR is ready. And these are the next steps that you have to take to now set up and run the project. If I go back to my directory, since I was in code, I will have the complete project here, hello KSOR. And the project have got some files and some things that will get into the details in the next class. Now, the quickest steps that you can take after installation. The easiest way is to just cd into your project and then run the agent here, and the agent can take from here and it will work as your co-companion to set up the complete project, to start it, to test it and everything. Or the other way is to run the commands that you have got here. Actually, sir, our time is almost complete, and we have looked at the prerequisites that we have to set up to start working with KSR. Uh, and we won't be able to complete it in the remaining time. So we can either stop here or take a little bit more time to complete the hello world.
Okay. Okay. Junaid, let's take some few questions and then end the class.
All right. So before the next class, guys, do try to get to this part. So your Node.js is installed, you have set up the project, and even try these commands. So you're a little bit familiar, and we will proceed from here in the next class. Meanwhile, you can just raise your hands for the questions. Salman, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Sir, actually, I have joined the class now. I have some question. My first question is that you have announced the tools. Any tools? All are free or paid? And second question is that
My friend,
because
they think all is covered. It's open source. You look, everything is recorded. You go back to the recording and then see. If you start repeating the whole thing again and again, it doesn't make sense, my friend.
All right. Next one, Marianne, you can unmute yourself.
Sir, I have a question like if fintech and banking companies or accounting domain companies have their private data that is stored in the system of record, their own system of record. So expert or you can say hacker can access to them, and like how will be the security work, and is it secure method, or my concept is leaking or working not in good way?
All right. So when we're talking about KSOR have got a complete governance boundary that is built around different principles and responsibilities. We will be looking at it later. That is one part. That how to make system of record itself secure. The other part is the deployment and the security that is implemented within the organization or within the bank. So if you are working with a bank or a similar financial institution, then you will have to comply with laws and policies that applies in that domain. Maybe you will have to self-host the LLMs as well. And again, then you will have to work on security more aggressively as well to ensure that it don't get hacked or any such incidents don't happen when you are making it live. So on one end, is the KSR secure? Yes, the KSR is implementing its own security and its boundaries, identity for agents and humans. On the other end, when the user or the FD that is taking it for to develop the solutions, it is his or her own responsibility as well to ensure the deployment and everything is secure in that environment.
Okay. Okay,
Junaid,
sir.
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
Junaid, one of the students is asking, you did not use the Claude command, use the Claude command. The student got confused because of it. Please explain.
All right, guys. You can just use Claude on your end. That is fine as well. In my case, I'm mostly running Claude in YOLO mode, like in the mode where it is not asking for permissions, because I've set up different boundaries within my machine to secure the environment. So, and that is a little bit longer command. So normally I will have to type Claude hyphen allow dangerous permissions. To skip the long command, I have just set up a shortcut. Even this was set up by Claude. So when I'm running Claude, it actually types back in the terminal this command. So this is just a shortcut to this command. Don't get confused by it if anytime I'm using Claude, it's just Claude behind the scenes.
Thank you. Next question.
Right. Umar, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Sir, thanks for the great explanation today, sir. My question is about what is the difference between RAG and the KSOR? Actually, the functional or technical difference I want to understand. Thank you.
All right. So rank is just one component to serve some data. It can be any data for semantic search. Now, the whole case or the whole discussion that we had in this class was why do we need a different system of record or a knowledge system of record? So the first thing is to understand the need. Now, this knowledge system of record, it can have any interface or it can have any way for agents to consume. And RAG can be one of the small components that can be powered it up today, but that can change as well. So RAG is just an LLM technique or a technique to serve data semantically to LLMs or AI agents. RAG can be used by KSR as one of the many interfaces or surfaces to serve data to LLM. But when we're talking about knowledge system of record, that is the authoritative governed knowledge layer or knowledge infrastructure for AI agents and humans alike. So RAG is just a small component within the technical boundary and knowledge system of record that will remain there. The techniques like RAG, like wikis, like directly querying the documents that can change as well.
Next question.
Salman?
Sir, actually, I want to know that do I need to know and learn an concept about deployment because I have now no have concept of deployment and do I need only your open source tool that just due to a prompt I can deploy our agent?
All
Or
right.
we need to learn any specific course for the deployment like AWS and any other that I am looking today.
All right. So the question is, with KSR, will I get everything out of the box, or will I still have to learn? And from where can I learn those things? So the answer is yes, my friend. You still have to learn to build AI agents, and for learning, we have got Zatuber AI, and how to set it up, how to use it. We have covered in previous classes. So you will have to cover and learn everything that is present in crash courses to cover the technical side of how to build AI agents and all the components that are present and required there. That is one thing. On the other hand, for the knowledge layer, for the identity layer, for that these particular sort of things, you have got KSR. So you will be using KSR. For simple use cases, it can work out of the box. But when we're talking about getting into enterprises or setting up the technical or the knowledge there for the companies, then on that end, you will also need those engineering skills. And you will can learn them from Agent Factory. There is no need for any other resource, or that's what we do think at the moment.
Thank you,
Okay, sir.
everyone. We have crossed the 10 hour 2 hour limit. Actually, it's a 1.5 hour class, but we went half an hour more. See you guys next Wednesday. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.